yeah. Get freaky and feel you. Girl, I want the sexiest heels for you. We gon' turn it up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the She Said What She Said podcast with your favorite best friend duo, Nicole.
And Donyea, Nicole.
So to give you guys a little backstory on how the podcast came about, your girl went through a real deep depression.
Yes.
And podcast really got me through it. Like, they really did. And so I woke up one day and was like, I'm finna start me a podcast. And so I called Donyea and I was like, you trying to start a podcast with me? And she was like, yes. I was like, all right, let's do it. And one night we were at the bar, of course, and we were sitting there thinking, like, what are we going to name the podcast? What are we going to name the podcast?
Oh, I remember that.
And it was like, we were like 2 drinks in, and Donyea looks at me and she's like, she said what she said. And I was like, I like that.
Oh my God.
And we sat there and we just kept repeating it, looking at each other in the eyes, talking about some, she said what she said. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Looking at each other's eyes. Oh my God.
I know. It was dope though.
I remember that. I remember that. Oh my gosh. That was such a great night. So yeah, so now we're here. Welcome to She Said What She Said once again. So as you see from the title, obviously today we were talking about boundaries and dating outside your race. So whether you're here for the boundaries or whether you're here for dating outside your race, right now for this next 45 minutes to an hour is definitely for you. Whether you're here because you just started your self-care journey, or whether you're here trying to implement more of boundaries in your life, or if you're looking for some dating advice, you've came to the right place. So sit back, relax, and engage in this podcast. So I want to jump in, Brittany, right? I kind of want to jump in and like pretty much establish what boundaries are, right? So most people really like kind of misconstrue the definition, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah. So pretty much like a lot of people that don't really know what boundaries are per se, and I'm using air quotes right now for the ones that aren't actually watching us on YouTube. We pretty much are like, okay, as a person, because we all want to be selfless, we're all like, okay, well, if you have a boundary, you're over here pretty much saying like,
I can't do this, I can't do that.
And it's like, okay, are you forcing somebody to conform to what you are trying to do? Or are you actually just loving yourself and know your worth and just trying to set those boundaries to protect yourself? And so as we go through life, especially both of us, mid-20s, we need to realize...
Mid-20s? Girl, I'm early 20s.
Girl, bye. We need to realize, like, we have realized who we are.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's hard for our older generation, the ones that raised us and who raised them, to realize like we got these young adolescents in front of us that damn, they're really starting to come around and know their worth. And there's no shade to our older generation. Shout out to mom and pop. Yes, we love y'all. But us as millennials, like, listen, baby, okay? Y'all did the best you could, and thank you for that.
Shit, I'm doing the best I can.
Right. Yes, we are. Oh my gosh. But however, there's things set in place now, i.e. therapy. And a lot of people shun away from therapy right now.
Well, I feel like therapy, people view therapy as like this place where like you're just a weak person and they're just trying to read you. And it's like, no, they're not trying to read you. They're trying to help you. Like, I've had so many, even men, like, they're just like, I'm not going to therapy. And it's like, all right. Sometimes I don't even argue. All right. You don't need therapy. All right, whatever. Because it's like, you can't convince someone that they need therapy. As much as you tell them, they'll go when they feel like it. So,
like, when they're ready to help themselves. And honestly, like, a lot of people also affiliate therapy as being there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could be the happiest, most comfortable person, but you're still in therapy. And that's good because...
Shout out to my therapist, by the way. She be stepping on my neck.
I actually had a session today, and oh my gosh.
Yeah,
my girl had me in tears, but good tears.
Be on my neck. There's a couple times I'm like, you didn't have to talk to me like this. You really didn't. But then, it really helped me. Like, one thing I would say my therapist really, really, really got in my brain is setting boundaries. Like, I'm a terrible boundary setter. I set boundaries, and then a week later, I forget. Like, not that I forget them, but it's just like, I'm just kind of like, well, whatever. Not that but, you know, it's just, she really, really, really put it in my brain that I needed to set boundaries with people.
Okay, so when she set those boundaries for you, or when she made you realize, what was going on in your head at that time?
Well, she basically was like, who do you feel like you need to set boundaries with? And I was like, I need to set boundaries with everyone in my life, because everybody in your life needs boundaries, whether it's family, friends, relationship, your pet, anybody, work, they all need boundaries, every single one of them. But like for my family, like I can't always be available. I have the right to say no. And you know, that may come off disrespectful. So then that's why I feel like it's hard to really set a boundary with your family. And I feel like that's one of the hardest people to set a boundary with, is because they're like, well, I raised you. I'm your family. Like, it's just kind of like they always go back to, I'm family. You're supposed to do this for me.
It's
entitlement. It's entitlement.
It's like,
everyone wants to feel entitled, and it's like, you can't feel entitled.
Right.
As much as you want to be entitled, you just can't.
You just can't. It's like, thank you so much for raising me, and thanks for being there and giving me unconditional love. But my love also now comes with a little bit of conditions, okay? You know, and that's not in a mean way or anything, but like, you know.
I even feel like, you know, family sometimes, like, say you're in a relationship, that boundary, like, they're like, well, you do this for him or her, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, first of all, like, it's just, it's certain boundaries.
Okay.
It's hard.
I mean, so for that, it's like, they need to realize that you as a person, and boundaries can be super, super small. Like,
they definitely can. They don't have to be huge. And that's why I feel like people get lost, because they're trying to set these large boundaries, and it's like,
And they don't realize that, honestly, we learn boundaries like literally day one of preschool. Day one of
don't touch each other.
Don't touch each other. That's a boundary. That's a boundary. But also, we get boundaries confused too, and we're taught that at an early age. Example: you're let's say you're in, you know, playtime on the mat for playtime, and you, Brittany, have like this nice little Barbie doll in your hand.
That sounds like me when I was a kid. So
Sally Sue wants the Barbie doll, and so Miss Mary May comes over and like, okay, Brittany, it's time for Sally Sue to play with the doll now, and it's like, let's share. Okay, why am I sharing? I'm still using I'm still playing with Barbie.
So I feel like that's hard, because I was the only girl, so I never really had to share as a kid. My brothers was not playing with my Barbies.
Girl, I sat in class at preschool.
I never went to preschool. My mom was a teacher.
Okay, kindergarten.
My whole life.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You didn't go to kindergarten?
Actually, you know what? I did actually go to a daycare. And like the second day, that lady tore my behind up. And I never wanted to go back. My mother told her she could beat me. Yeah.
Right.
And I was just crying. I was crying because I needed to go to the bathroom. Yeah. And she beat me because I wouldn't go to sleep.
But I use that analogy to say, like, why can't we just communicate to Sally Mae that Brittany at the time is playing with the toy, and you're gonna have to wait a few minutes. You're communicating. It's also a boundary, because you're not about to sit here and just give away what you're playing with at the drop of the dime because you want to play with it right now.
Yeah.
But another, like, an adult life example would be, you know, just as simple as you walking into somebody's house, you see shoes in the mud room. So obviously that looks like you should probably take your shoes off while entering.
Yeah, definitely. Boundaries of
big boundary.
That's a big boundary, actually.
It's a big boundary, yeah.
It's like people laying in
bed with the outside.
Everybody knows my boundary. Nobody comes in my room, because that is my biggest boundary. Do not lay on my bed with outside clothes on. Don't even come in my room. Like, I have people who literally tell me, like, in my family, I don't even know what Brittany's room looks like. Yes, and you never will, because I'm so, like...
I feel bad for them. Your room is beautiful.
I'm so about my room. Like, I feel like my room is just so... I don't want to say private, because it's not private. But, like, as
It's
soon
your
as
sanctuary.
if you sit on my bed with some outside clothes on, oh,
You gonna have it. You gonna hear me.
You'll never be allowed in my room ever again. Let alone the house. Like,
I get that. So, like, something as simple as that. Simple as taking your shoes off when entering someone's house. Simple as not laying on someone's bed with your outside clothes on. Or as simple as putting the toilet seat down, males, when you finish using the bathroom.
because I'm not gonna lie. I fell in one night. I went to the bathroom. Sometimes I'll turn on the light because it's just like, it's my bathroom. I know my steps. I know, And I went and I sat down and I fell in that toilet. Everybody had to be woken up. Everybody.
Are you serious? You woke everybody up?
No. But I definitely yelled when somebody did wake up.
Oh.
But yeah, like, just there's certain boundaries that you just need to set.
Yeah.
It's like moving in together. Like, when you move in together, you need to know what kind of boundaries your significant other is setting. Because for me, like you said, don't touch your food before. Like, don't touch my food. I cry over food, so.
And so with this, so pretty much you're either, whether you're talking to a friend, a family, a significant other, whoever, a coworker, whatever. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, as long as you know who the relationship that you've established with this person. So when you are talking to, let's just say you're talking to a friend, and friend does something that doesn't really sit well with you, or that's you have established that boundary once upon a time with yourself. You then voice or communicate to said friend, hey, I really I don't appreciate, or I feel like, or, it didn't sit well with me that X, Y, and Z, whatever had happened. And let that person, they're either A, going to make a mental note of it and change it in the future, or B, they're going to let it go in one ear and right out the other, which is completely fine. That is completely fine, because baby, I'm going to go lay down in my bed at night, and so aren't you. And after that, we are then going to come back to a table at one point in time, and we're going to see, this situation might happen again. And at that time, bam, a light switch clicks in your head, like, damn, I already told this person that I really don't, I feel this way when you do this. And now you are hit in the face again with the same scenario that y'all had.
So that kind of brings, like, I feel like that's kind of like that boundary where people, like, they'll cut their friends off faster than they'll cut their significant other off. That's a huge boundary that I feel like, as adults, I feel like we're not even ready to talk about that.
No, some aren't. Because they're like, communication. Oh my gosh. Like,
no, I'm big on communication. That's
right. You're big on it. I'm big on it. But adults nowadays are like, okay, if we can just.
Everybody wants to talk until it's time to communicate.
Right. And it's like, okay, now we're in the stages of, the situationships. And what's the what is that?
Oh,
what is
entanglement.
The entanglements. Listen, baby, I've never had no entanglement, but that's what we're into nowadays. Listen, no.
Sorry, that was strike something.
So, like, no, we not doing this entanglement thing. Whether it's entanglement with friends or family, significant other, like, no. You need to communicate with me, baby, because you're an adult, I'm an adult, and we're
both adults.
We gotta communicate. I'm sorry, does it make you uncomfortable? Okay, well then I guess there's really nothing else to say. If you're at that time, then you let them know. If you're not going to communicate with me, then this is going to happen. And at that time, you need to then bring yourself to whatever private space you have and be like, okay, talking to third person to yourself. Okay, Donyea, this just happened. This person broke this boundary. And now you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, well, what are you going to do about it?
And that's the thing. So we can set these boundaries. We can tell people our boundaries. And if they don't respect your boundaries, it's like, what's the next step? So you set the boundary. If you tell the person, you communicate that boundary to that person, it's like, what's the next step if they don't respect that boundary? Are you going to stick around, or are you just going to, for me, if I set a boundary with somebody and they don't respect it, I'm going to give you the same energy that you're giving me. If we never talk, we never talk. You don't text me, I'm not going to text you. You don't call me, I'm not going to call you. So that's how I set my boundaries. If you can't respect my boundary, I'm not respecting nothing.
And I'm going to be completely honest, because we're open and honest on this podcast. I really did have a hard time setting boundaries for myself in situations, in relationships, family ships, friendships, significant otherships, like relationships. Like,
oh, I suck at setting boundaries in relationships. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
In the past, like I was dumb, bamboozled, a fool.
We've all been there, girl.
Like,
you know my past. I was dumb.
But it's just like, for whoever's listening.
Wait, can I emphasize that one more time?
Dumb. Whoever is listening to this podcast, like, it's okay. We've all been there. Like, listen, we have not always came from putting ourselves first. So it's like, okay, I'm telling you right now, we have not put ourselves first in the past, but you work every single day to get to a space where you love yourself, where you want to be, where you're happy and content with that. And so, like, everything we're saying, like, such valid points. And it's like, you really need to have that conversation with yourself after you're in a situation. It's okay. Don't get mad. Don't throw your hands up.
Or be mad at yourself. Talk down on yourself.
Don't do that. Definitely. And you just take yourself away from the situation for a moment so you can have that time, that headspace to just breathe and really think about what the hell just happened with this person. So, in speaking about this, give me, like, family. So family, we're going to break it down from family, friend, and then a romantic partner. Okay. So family, what are some of your boundaries?
So, like I said, I can't always be available. I have the right to say no. We need to respect each other's personal life, and then separating. If you are in, like, business with your family, separating family and business. Like, at one point we're talking about family stuff, the next point we're talking about business, but it's like there needs to be that separation. Those are my boundaries.
I agree with every single one of those.
Me too.
I really do. I have an example. So honestly, I'm in business with my family, and we have a hard time separating work and family time, and that really bothers me. It gets under my skin because I love my family to death. Like, I don't think they understand, and it's like, okay, I wake up, I want to know how you slept, because I
slept bad every day, so I'm just gonna be like, don't ask me how I slept. I'm tired still.
I want to know how you slept. I want to know if you actually feel rejuvenated. I want to know, how's your breakfast? Do you have time for breakfast? Like, I want to know something.
Because I woke up late.
I want to know, did you have a dream last night? Because, at the end of the day, we all we're guilty of saying the question, oh, well, you do that with your boo. So if I can do this with my boo,
my parents,
like, how come we can't do it with our parents? And it's like, my folks be looking at me like all types of crazy, like, nah, we just might talk about work. And I'm like, no, I feel that when we talk about work, it really takes away of our family shit.
And I feel like talking about work all the time,
it's draining.
It brings anxiety on you.
Yes.
It triggers your anxiety.
And some people, and one of my family members is really, really guilty of this. They're like, oh, anxiety. What is that?
It goes back to, Black people. We are the worst when it comes to mental health. I will say that. The worst. And then men really can't talk about their feelings, which do not feel that way. I love when a guy is like
open, mushy, like want to rest their head on your shoulder and just tell you all about how they're feeling. Like, baby, keep going. Like,
I will rub your head between my legs. Tell me all about your day.
Okay.
Tell me all about your day. Like, it's just, sorry.
Oh, tell us more, Nicole.
It's very like, it makes me feel some kind of way. Like, I'm just like, you trust me to just sit here and just get all vulnerable?
Yes. Yes, that is a Black king right there. That's a king right there for anybody.
I will rub your
honestly.
beard and rub your hair for hours.
I'm gonna run that bath water. I'm gonna have your food cooked. Like, come on, keep spilling it. That's not you being like soft.
It's at all.
Not at all. That's you being like, that is definition of a man. If you can sit
For
here
real.
and
Back
pour
massage.
out everything, like, come on, keep going, baby.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. But for like relationships, those are the hardest boundaries to set. I am guilty. Guilty.
I wouldn't say hardest boundaries to set. I would say
To
hardest
hold.
ones to hold
To
and
hold.
carry out, and actually realize that you need to put yourself first in those situations.
Yes.
Because your heart is the one that's talking to you.
Yes.
It's dangerous. The
Oh
heart
my
is
God.
dangerous.
Yes, the heart is
my
a
God.
dangerous. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, I feel like something that we lack in relationships, and why a lot of relationships do not work, is because of space. Like, we all need our space. We cannot be under our significant other 24/7. Like, for me personally, I don't like being under someone 24/7, only because like I need my time. When I was single, like, it really showed me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It really showed me how to spend time with myself and just be one with myself. And it now when you want to spend every given second, every minute with me, I get stressed out. I love the fact that you want to see me. I'd want to see you too. But we need to separate for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like it's hard moving in with your significant other, because it's like, I go to work, I see you. I leave for work in the morning, I see you. I come home, I see you. I sleep right next to you. So it's like you see each other so much that like that's something that you have to get used to. Especially if you guys come from like two homes where you're just living by yourself, and then now you guys are living together and you're seeing how they live, how like their cleanliness, like how they do things. It's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's always arguing. Don't be arguing out here, y'all, because that's too much energy.
Not always.
I don't like arguing. Going through each other's phones. I don't care. You can go through my phone. That's a boundary for some people. Don't touch my phone.
If that,
I don't care.
If that's a boundary, I don't know. I mean, if you into toxic, then you into toxic. But there should be no reason, because if this person, when you get in a relationship, you need to realize like, hey, but when you meet the person, like one of the first questions that should be asked is, are you in a space to give me all of you at the moment? And I'm not.
That's
saying...
a good question. I like that question. I'm gonna write that down for future references.
Okay.
Just in case. I'm playing.
And when I say all of you, like, now for us, like, it's not all about you. Like, you don't need to. Yes, of course, wine and dine is nice, but listen, baby, what are we talking about? Checks and balances. Like, what business we opening? What are we starting? What are we working on together? Like, yes. But however, are you available? Are you in the headspace to give me you? Because if you over here tripping about this girl that you just finished messing with maybe like a year ago, it's been a whole year, but you're still thinking about her. Well, you need to talk about it and work those problems out with yourself. Because that's not my problem. Because if she went through your phone, that's not me. That is not me.
Well, my thing is,
problem.
I don't know if I want to go through phones. Last time I went through a phone, I didn't eat for like 3 months. Girl, I got skinny. But yeah, like for me personally, you can look through my phone because I'm not hiding anything. Like, but that goes to me, like when I'm in a relationship, I'm invested. As long as you're reciprocating all energy, I'm reciprocating all energy. Now, if I catch you texting somebody, I promise you, I'm already texting 2 people. I'm evil. I'm a gremlin.
Pretty. She said she's a gremlin. Oh my God.
I promise you.
Okay.
But like I strongly get invested. Like I will cut off everybody if I feel like I could see a future with you. So if you want to go through my phone, go ahead.
Because there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Exactly.
You might find in the group chat I'm talking some trash about you, but that's about it.
You're gonna look stupid because at the end of the day, why are you going through my phone, baby? Like, why are you doing that?
You don't trust me. That's how dudes be. You don't trust me? Nah, nigga, I don't.
Like, yes, you
I'm
have
traumatized.
my password. You can pick my phone up. You can do whatever you want. But however, if I go to sleep and you over here in the bathroom going through my phone, okay, well, how about you just go back to the closet and go pack your stuff and leave? Because if we don't have any trust, what's the point of us being together? Like, oh, because you
my phone always went through when I was asleep.
That's when it always happens. It's either when you sleep or you leave it in the car for like, you know, that split second when you run in the store to go get something, and he thinks he's slick.
Like I said, go through my phone.
Men, they need to realize that they're never gonna be smarter than us. Never.
Don't say that, because I don't need nobody thinking I'm deleting stuff in my phone. Everything
that's
stays
there.
Those DMs, you gonna see.
They just don't do it smartly.
Oh yeah, men are dumb. Men are dumb when it comes to like.
Oh my gosh, it's like a rat. The rat thinks that they're smart. They're hiding somewhere all throughout the day, but at night they come out. But they left their little droppings on the floor.
Oh yeah, so it's like, all right, clearly he was here.
Right. So like, yo.
Yeah, man.
I'm throwing my hands up for the ones that can't see me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even touching each other's like personal stuff, like
personal
stuff, like my wallet, like your wallet
or purse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
hope every man knows. Don't touch them. Don't go in
does your
man
purse. Like, can you go in your man's wallet?
Once upon a time, back in the day when I had one.
I know, we used to be like, go get my card and just.
When I had a man, you know.
It makes you get like little tingly butterflies, like, oh, just go get my card out of my wallet, and you just run into the card, like, all right. Or they send you the card number as the card number. See?
So sweet. So sweet. Can you?
What?
Can you go through, like, just go grab his? For men, I don't think their wallet is as sacred as, like, a woman's purse.
I don't know. I don't have anything in my purse. But honestly, like, are you going to see my purse as a flashlight, some lip gloss, my work ID?
But that, I think that rule was set in place, like, a long time ago.
Yeah,
like,
that's the old folks talking about something. Don't touch no woman's purse.
But for real, don't touch my purse. Or you can touch it. Like, if I ask, hey, can you pass me my purse, babe? Sure, please pass it to me. But do not put your hand in my purse. What do you want my purse for? If I be like, oh yeah, da-da-da-da-da is in the purse, and you go, whoa, red flag on the play.
Well, yeah, I feel like if you just start touching my purse, like, that's a little, like, what are you doing? But if I ask you, like, hey, can you go get that out of my purse? But some men, you have to initiate. Some men feel like, even like, he would still bring me my purse. I'm like, why'd you bring this whole big purse? I wouldn't say all that, but you know,
a black king right there.
Sorry, you said black king.
I struck a nerve there. Again. I'm sorry.
Or even in relationships, still like sexually. Can I wake you up in the middle of the night?
Yeah, that's a boundary that is established at the beginning. Or you realize it at some point.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like that's something that you're going to learn in the beginning, especially if you guys are, spending the nights together or whatever. If that person wants to wake you up in the middle of the night, they're going to see that first reaction from that first time.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're going to see if they can ever do that ever again.
And, when that time does come in the relationship, let's say, old boy, rolls you over, wakes you up, shakes you a little bit or whatever. You over. Yeah. So
now y'all are face to face? Sorry. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
And, he wakes you up. Obviously, we ain't using I feel and you made me feel like da-da-da-da-da. Listen, I'm gonna hurt your feelings for a second. Hey, you would not about to wake me up. But in the morning, I will then come at you correct and communicate with you that it is not okay to wake me up out of my sleep because you need some fixing, okay?
So I'm the opposite. I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly okay with it. We gonna be half asleep, but it's gonna happen. Sorry.
And at that time, like, listen, I really don't. I don't appreciate it, and I feel like it's not necessary. And I would appreciate that in the future you don't do that.
And I feel like it depends. It depends on the situation. So like if it's like a weekend, okay, cool. But if it's a work night, definitely not. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like that's just like
yeah.
Like a work night. It's like, all right, bro, go to sleep.
Yes, work night, okay. But if it's
the weekend, especially if I'm drunk.
that's a different ball. I mean, that I agree with. If I'm drunk,
blame it on the alcohol.
Who is that? T-Pain. Who sings that song?
Oh my god, yes.
Akon. Is it T-Pain or Akon?
You're embarrassing me. Oh,
listen, that song is old. Listen, I'm old. Is it T-Pain?
I can't even remember right now because you just gave me a brain fart. And now everybody's about to judge us. I just know Jamie Foxx was on it, I believe.
Oh, is it Jamie Foxx?
Was he on there? I don't know. Let's look it up. All right, like even like I feel like you have to set boundaries with your pets too. Like pets are really disrespectful. Like pets will really like jump on your bed and you don't want them on your bed. Like just very disrespectful.
They are disrespectful.
Guys, she's Googling the song because neither one of us brains are working. Did you hear what I just messed up the words?
Did you?
I said neither of us something.
What's the song called?
Alcohol.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Is it called Alcohol?
Yes.
Are you sure? No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it.
Blame it.
Yes, it's
T-Pain.
Blame It. Sorry. Yes, I was right. I told you, and Jamie Foxx was on it. I knew it.
You right about Jamie. I was right about T-Pain. You looked at me like I was crazy.
No, I didn't. I just couldn't remember.
Y'all see that?
My brain stopped
working.
working.
If you're still listening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, okay? Okay, so what were we talking about now?
We were talking about boundaries.
The boundaries. Yeah, but we were also talking about blaming on the alcohol.
Oh, because I said what I said. And I said, if you want to wake me up, blame it on the alcohol. I'm just kidding.
Okay, now let's talk about friends because, like you were saying earlier, we give our significant other a huge pass over our friends that honestly, we both have longtime friends that you've known for a long time and it's like, okay, they do something wrong and we're quick to cut that person off. All
right, so for me personally now, all right, so where I've come from with my, past relationships, I'm definitely, sorry guys, my chair is so loud. Coming from where I came from, I am definitely better at cutting everyone off at the same caliber, I feel like. Like,
you're now at that point.
Yeah, like I'm able to
identify, like,
I'm able to identify when, things need to stop.
And
now, do I stop? We're working on that.
That's okay. As long as you're working on it.
Yeah.
As long as you know you're working on it.
Definitely
it's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
And that's okay.
Say that.
Because most people can't even say that they're working on it. So
yeah, I'm trying.
No, you're working on it.
I'm trying.
No,
that's
you're working on it. I feel like trying is like you're just setting yourself up for failure. So you are actively working on it. It's okay if you fail, but you're gonna keep going.
I fail and then I text my cousin and I be like, girl,
I'm doing it again.
I tried. But that's a boundary that I'm working on. I'm really working on it.
Okay. Any other boundaries that you really want to like highlight? Let the people know. She's having a flashback of something over here. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, boundaries need to be set. They're very important.
They are important. They are important. So, I mean, to recap, we've identified our boundaries, right? So, all of our listeners and our viewers, you really need to sit down with yourself. And honestly, we don't even realize that we have boundaries set in place because we have them every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, as small as putting down the toilet seat or taking off your shoes or not laying in somebody's bed with your outside clothes on, because that's not cute.
Although I'm disrespectful in a way, like
you would do it to somebody else.
If okay, so if I go to someone's house and they're laying in their bed with their outside clothes on,
because it's okay for them, because that's not a boundary for them.
Yeah.
Then you realize that.
So
it's okay.
I'm not breaking my boundary. They don't have the boundary, so
right.
Okay.
Because it's not important to them. Just how some people, you know, they might not take their shoes off in their house.
Yeah.
That's okay. Do you clean on Sundays? I don't know. We do. But do you? I don't know.
Listen, I be like cleaning on Sunday. The Bible says on Sundays we rest.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't like doing nothing on Sundays. Sundays are my rest day.
Oh, funny.
I know.
It's an inside joke.
You're shady.
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about that.
You're shady.
I was really just thinking because today's Sunday and we here.
I know.
But you thinking about something way different.
I was.
Okay. Well, you know what we're talking about. So, so we've established our boundaries set in place by communicating with whoever it is in your life. As long as you're communicating with the person, letting them know that, hey, this is how I feel. And, you know, if you want to remain in my life and be a part of, you know, Donyea's life, Brittany's life, or whoever, Sally, Taylor, Dwayne, whatever your name is.
Not Dwayne. I'm sorry.
If you want to be a part of my life, then these are the boundaries I have for inset in place for me.
But you know what's going to happen? Just like, okay, so you know the whole what one person won't do, another one will?
Yes.
I feel like
it.
Yeah. What one person won't do, somebody's going to respect your boundaries. You just got to, you know, you just got to wait and find that person who's going to respect your boundaries.
Right.
How you want them to respect it?
So what I'm saying is, yeah, you shouldn't change for that person. You should just
don't change for nobody.
You should let them know that, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I've communicated this to you. I let you know. You've done it again, and now I've already set a boundary in place for myself, and so now I'm going to. These are the not consequences. I don't want to use that word, but this is what is happening because you did this and you continue to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that person may look at you and be like, "Damn, like she's selfish." Or she's all about herself.
Listen, at some point in your life, I'm selfish. Like right now with me, myself, I am selfish. But I had to get to that point because I was so selfless before. And whatever people wanted, I feel like I was trying to please everyone. Like, please, what like if this person asked for this, I wanted to do that for them because I didn't want them to look at me and be like, oh, she didn't do this. Mm-hmm. Like, even in relationships, like I said, I was dumb. Whatever he wanted, I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do this. Like, at one point, he was telling me what I needed to dress like, look like, all that. And it got to the point where I was like, hold up. I'm not doing this. Like, that's not me. I'm not her. Like, I'm not, that's not me. I'm not dressing a certain way to please you. And now I am so happy with who I am, how I dress, how I act. I'm very open now, I feel like, too. Like,
you are.
I feel like, you know,
done well.
Certain people bring out certain things in you, and I feel like I done got loose lately.
Yeah, okay.
Not loose like that. Not loose like that. But, like, I just feel like I'm more like...
You are you. You know who you are. Like, you are not about to change me, baby.
Yeah, like, I slept on myself for years.
It's beautiful. Honestly, Brittany, like, the season you are in and the
I be glowing and stuff. I almost went to go flip my hair, but I ain't got none.
the person, listen, he was manipulating. He is why boundaries are kind of looked down on. He's why this person that we're talking about, person in question, is why boundaries are looked down on. And he was using boundaries to just manipulate the situation because he was using what it's not good for, which is to make the person
change
for you and to be who you want that person to be. No, baby, you go find somebody else that fits that criteria. Don't change me. But that's good that you realize. That's really good that you realize, and you are beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'll be trying to
But again, you can make requests all day to that person, and I think in that situation you did. You requested for that said person to hey, change, da 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 da. But again, they kept taking it in one ear and throwing it right back out the other.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, not talking about this person, just anybody in general, there's some type of reciprocity and respect in the whatever relationship that you are in with that type of person, whatever person you're talking to, that they will respect your boundaries, respect you as a person, and be willing to make that change for you, or just be willing to make a slight adjustment in order to maintain that person that's adding value into their life.
Yeah, like if I meet a guy and he's like, this is a boundary for me. Like if it's something within reason, I'm willing to, respect that boundary and be like, hey, I can change that. But if it's changing who I am, like, oh, when you come around my family, can you not talk like that? Like, well, like obviously, like I know how to, be respectful around people's family. But if you're like, oh, like it's hard. Like some people, they just want you
dress a certain way,
but that's the thing. Like it's like I wouldn't go in front of somebody's family, with
my boobs all out.
Yeah, like first time you meeting his mother and your boobs is all out.
I saw some meme on Instagram. Did you see that meme?
Probably not.
The girl was in like some Fashion Nova cutout dress meeting the guy's family for the first time.
Yeah, and I feel like if I'm not a parent yet, but I feel like if my son brought a girl home and her boobs is out, I don't care if I'm in my house and
I
my
would
boobs
dismiss
is
it
out.
from this house.
I'd be like, oh,
don't even worry about taking shoes off.
I'd be like,
nice to meet you.
Maybe a bigger shirt next time.
No, listen, go get your sister's shirt. Go upstairs and get your sister's shirt.
But like for me, like I just feel like there is a respectful way how you come about things, like meeting someone's mother. Like
definitely,
I'm all awkward. Hi. How are you?
So, recapping it all, you don't even like, you can sit down and make a list of all your boundaries if you want, or you can sit down and really look at your day and just be like, okay, I actually set this boundary in place. I didn't even realize it. Mm-hmm. But with what you're saying, you really, at the end of the day, you can just go back and be like, okay, well, if this person wants me to do this, you can either go along with it for that time, and then at the end of it all, be like, okay, well, you made me do this. It made me feel like this, and now I'm going to do this. Or you can tell them right then and there, hey, I'm not going to do that for you. And unfortunately, you're actually pushing a boundary at this time. And I'm choosing to actually remove myself from your life.
Yeah.
And because you want something that is not me, and honestly, I don't think that we're going to mutually benefit off of one another if we're going to continue this relationship. And
don't feel bad about removing yourself. We sometimes feel bad, like, oh, like, I feel bad, like they're going through something. Everyone is going through their own thing, but don't hurt yourself trying to make other people happy when they're breaking your boundaries. Because I've been there.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. So, boundaries, kings and queens. Boundaries. Practice boundaries, setting boundaries, carrying out boundaries, and actually realizing what you want out of whatever said boundary that you set.
Or just writing down boundaries. So at some point, if you're going your notes, journal, whatever, just write down different people in your life and think of boundaries that you can set with everyone in your life. Or just kind of do like a generalized one, like, oh, these are the boundaries I want to set with my friends. These are the boundaries I want to set in my relationship or my future relationships or my family or my pet. Dogs are disrespectful. They're just doing your stuff. And
that's pretty much it. So if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment in the comment section below of a boundary that you maybe set today or that you plan on setting in the future. We've already shared several with you. So definitely go ahead and do that for us. And remember, hashtag she said what she said. So moving on.
Dating outside your race.
Oh.
All right, so personally, I've never dated outside my race. Not saying I wouldn't be open to it, in the future, but the situation never really crossed. Actually, I lied. It has crossed me. It wasn't.
It?
Yeah.
On a
We ain't gonna
dating
touch on
app
that.
or okay.
No, it wasn't on. Like it was like in person. Like it was. Yeah, it wasn't it.
It wasn't it.
I'm stumbling over my words.
It wasn't given what it was supposed to give. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely skip that. It's okay. So you would date outside your race?
I definitely would.
Okay. Do you think so? Yes, you would date outside your race, and that's same for me. I would date outside my race, and I have dated outside my race. But when you think
she would be the one.
When you think about it, would you consider marrying outside of your race?
So for me, depending on the day of the week, marriage for me, some days I'm like, yeah, I want to get married. Other days I'm like, yeah, share my stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Do this, do that.
They can sign a prenup.
I know. I want to be before I get married, like, I want to have so much money that I'm like, prenup? But I would never sign a prenup. That's the thing.
No.
That's mad. Yeah. That's so double standard. And I'm sorry.
Because it's a partnership. Like, no, there's no prenups. No. I, get it, sure. But if you really are, in marriage for the right reasons, there would be no need for a prenup. You should have no doubt that this person's going to do X, Y, and Z that you're thinking.
I don't know. When I look at a person that I'm with, I like someone who is business minded because for me, I'm business minded. So it's like I'm trying to run up some money. Ambitious.
They need to be ambitious. They need to literally be motivated. I understand, we all have lows in our life. So if I need at some point, not when we first meet, but if at some point you fall and you're at your lowest low, I should be there to be able to pick you right back up. And I should be able to, hold it down while you are actively working on getting back to that high. And it's the same way reverse. If I'm at a low, which I've been at lows before, I don't need to lean on anybody, but if I am,
yes, you do. Don't say you don't need to. You definitely need to, and I feel like that's another problem is people. I don't need nobody. Yes, you do.
I'm not saying I don't need nobody, but what I'm saying is I don't need to, I don't need a man to validate me.
Oh, no, hell no.
Hell no. I don't need a man to validate me, but I do want a man. I'm not saying I don't. I do want a man, and I want my black king because I am a sucker. I crave black love. Now, I have dated outside my race, yes, but I do crave black love. And we both come from a 2-parent household. So we're able to see that literally in our 26 years of living. So
don't be shady. You'll be 26 soon. Don't be shady. But no, me personally, I've had a lot of people tell me I remember one time I told somebody, I was like, yeah, my boyfriend's black. And she was like, what? You date a black boy? And really? I was like, what is that supposed to mean? What? She was like, I see you with a white guy. And I was like, a white guy? But then I've had some people tell me.
I told you that I did not know who you are.
When I've also had people tell me, your personality is too strong. And I'm like, what is that supposed to mean?
Right.
But sometimes, when I do talk to men, I'll be like, dang, my personality is strong. I just told this dude to shut the up.
And some
I'm not mean though.
You're not mean. No, you're assertive. We're both assertive.
Yeah.
We know what we want. And I'm sorry. Does that intimidate you? If it does, then I guess. Yeah,
I even had actually. You know what? Now that I say that, I had a white guy tell me, he was like, "You're gonna have to find the right white guy to handle you." And I was like, "Well, I'm not about to go and pick out people from a basket and be like, can you handle me?" No. But I can admit, I know I have a very strong personality. And sometimes, my brain moves faster than my mouth. And no, I said that backwards. My mouth moves faster than my brain. And sometimes things slip out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And
that's how it happens. Just blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and then I think about it, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I would look at, if I was like in a relationship with, you know, someone outside my race, I'd be like, nigga, shut up. And then I would think about it and be
crazy.
like, oops, sorry. And then what do I have to do? Like rub his head?
No.
Like, I'm so sorry.
Nope.
No, that's giving too much slave like right there for me. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, you said that. Oh my
It was the rub his head. Sorry.
So for me, I have dated outside my race. This person in question, we did vibe really well, and we had a lot of chemistry, and we actually liked the same exact
chemistry.
thing.
I love it.
And so, at the end of the day, you sit down and you're by yourself, and at the end of the day, you will always be by yourself, and that's why you need to be comfortable with yourself. But at the end of the day, I sat down and I'm like, okay, do I see myself marrying, and not even the person in question, do I see myself marrying a person outside my race? At this time, it was a white man, or so is it like, are you okay with marrying outside your race? And for me, it's a no, because you can't connect. Yes, we may vibe and we may gel and we may da-da-da-da-da-da, but at the end of the day, you're probably like, okay, damn, if this person was black, like, I would be ready to tie the knot, jump the broom, da-da-da-da-da. But y'all can't connect on the deepest level because that person can't relate to what you are going through, what you have gone through, what you will go through in the future. Yes, they can empathize and be like, oh yeah, you know, that really
Black lives do matter.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's fine and dandy, Robert. But
not Robert.
I know.
It was given R. Kelly. Ew.
Okay, what's another? That's fine and dandy.
Nicholas. Just kidding.
That's fine. Another name. That's fine and dandy.
Listen, just say a name.
Michael. However, comma. You just don't get it right now. You just don't get it. And we're gonna go to bed. We're gonna be right next to each other, and there's gonna be that question. Like, okay, do you really get it, or do you just get it? And there's a difference.
And I feel like it's hard for the children who were dating, like marrying, dating, or whatever outside your race. You know, at the end of the day, your kid, whether it be the father who's black or the mother who's black or the father who's white, and the mother, it's gonna be hard on the kid. It's hard for the kids sometimes. I feel like in some relationships because they're like, oh, well, my daughter is white and black, and it's like at the end of the day, she's still black. Like, especially if she's darker skin tone, like. When people look at her, she's black.
Right.
There's no, oh yeah, my dad's white. It doesn't work like that. Like,
and
you're still black.
Dad's not gonna get it what the child is going through.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate because she's gonna turn to daddy and be like, hey, you know, I'm going through this. What the hell do I do?
Yeah, or like the racial stuff, like, oh, somebody called me a nigga at school.
And
it's
then
like,
he's gonna be like, deer in headlights, like.
Yeah, and it's like. For me personally, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, all right, well, we going up to the school tomorrow. And then it's probably like, my husband's probably going to be like, no, like, let's handle this in a different, nah, he called my baby a nigga. Tomorrow. Like, so it's just kind of like.
What do you do? Like, you're in this situation and it's like, okay, you're now faced with this uncomfortable situation. Are we going to talk about it, or are you just going to brush it under the blanket,
So do you feel like it was hard for you to talk about certain things dating, you know, that person?
No. This person was actually very educated on black culture. And yes, okay, you can be very educated, but at the same time, you can never relate to how I felt or how I'm feeling or how I was feeling whenever said thing had happened. So yes, we could talk about it. We actually stayed up in bed all the time talking about
I was in bed.
Oh my
gosh.
Sorry. Stayed up, or we could eat and be on a date, and we would be talking about this, and we could carry out a conversation. And it's like, okay, damn, like, wow, da 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 da. But then when I went home and I'm like, okay, recapping everything that we just talked about, it's like, all right, yeah, he understands it.
But does he really, really understand
and he
it?
doesn't feel what we go through.
Yeah, definitely. It's
okay.
like, you know, we don't feel what anyone, like, goes through, I feel like. like other races, like not just black people get the racial, kickback. There's other races that get it and will never feel it.
But blacks get it the hardest. And
Chinese people, I feel like people are mad ignorant to them. Like it makes no sense. I just be like, dang, like why are y'all so rude to it? Like mad rude for no reason.
Black men, they have to swallow a lot of things, and we don't even realize it. And I'm not saying like black women don't have to, but black men, like
black women have it easier than black men. I feel like. Yes. Black men are just a target. Like
they are.
It's wild.
And there's like a stigma, and it's like for emotions, since we're talking about emotions, it's like black men especially have to mask their emotions versus, let's just use a different race, white men, they can show their emotions, and it's like, okay, well, Steven didn't take his medication today, but if you have this black man over here and he's going outraged, it's like, okay, well, this man has anger issues, he's crazy, but Steven's literally doing the same exact thing, but he just didn't take his medication today. Big pass that society gives white men.
And see, that's another thing. Like, I just feel like my mouth is too crazy. Like, because if they start doing something and they're like, oh, well, sorry, like, I didn't take my medicine today, I'll be like, what?
Medicine even to bring you about? Like, shut up.
Like, I would just, like, or they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, I just be like, can you relax? Like, you're doing too much. And then I'm going to be, like, not disrespectful, but it's going to be like, yeah.
And that right there, on top of that, when you think about, so let's say, I don't know, I wasn't ashamed to date a white man. I wasn't ashamed.
I definitely wouldn't be ashamed to date a white race. Boy.
But then you also have to think about other people, because we're just too, are they thinking about their family and what type of judgment they're gonna get if they bring Snow Bunny home, or if you're gonna bring Snowflake home? You know what I'm saying? So is my mom gonna accept this man, or is my dad gonna accept this man? Or
I feel like my family would accept them.
Yours would, but would
my family would.
Else? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
like, I feel like some black moms would be like, why are you bringing that girl up in here? And it's like, all right, relax.
I don't want to worry about, his family talking about me behind my back when I'm not there with my man. And it's like, okay, well, are they talking about me? And now do they have a running joke about me?
Because they would have a field day with me. They'll be like, Brittany's wild.
It is crazy to
and I'll be like, yeah. You want to know why he's with me?
It's crazy to think because, we always, when we're talking about other races, we always just jump to black and white. But I was dating this Trini boy, and he was like, okay, yeah, my family is racist. Right. Right. And I was like, okay.
I would have wanted to meet the family even more.
I met the family, and it was like, okay, so race it's not cut and dry.
So do you feel like they looked at you a little funny?
Looked at me funny?
Because guess what? I would have looked at them funny back. Hi, my name's Brittany. How are you?
After I found that out, I was like, wow, okay. That just, like, drew me back. I, like, took 10 mighty big steps.
And you're just a dark-skinned white person. That's all you are.
Who? Me? Oh, my gosh. So I was like, wow. And it's like, oh my goodness. Like, you don't even realize, like, the person could be literally your same complexion. And it's like, okay, wow, I'm better than you. But all right, whatever. So, yes to dating outside the race. What about y'all? Would you date outside your race?
I feel like to each its own. Like, love whoever you want to love. Just don't disrespect your culture. That's it.
And to bring some stats into it, black men are more prone to dating outside their race and marrying outside their race versus a black woman. Black women typically stay within black culture.
Okay, so for me, I feel like I stay within my culture because, like, the dark skin with the waves.
Child, let me fall out this chair.
Yeah, like, it's like, oh my god. But, like, I mean, I feel like I could get over, like, that look. But for me, like, I just feel like, you know, once I see them waves and the dark skin, chocolate, and then they be having the white teeth. Man.
It's my tall, dark, and handsome with the muscles, okay?
They ain't gotta be tall, right. But I'm only 4'11". I can't, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Although, you know, I do like them tall, but
they don't need to be like, oh my god, but they need to be taller than me. So
anybody's taller than me.
I'm sorry. I've run into problems sometimes.
No, I think I talked to someone who was like 5'2". And I knew it wasn't going to work as soon as I figured out he was 5'2". I was like, yep.
This is way off topic, but the dude that I was talking to, he was not comfortable with me wearing heels because I was taller than him.
It took away from his masculinity.
Boy, bye.
I wouldn't want you to wear heels either if you was taller than me.
Boundary, I left, so that's okay. But chocolate, waves, white teeth, muscles, and love. And open.
You ain't even got muscles. I like chubby people, but
I need the muscles. We need to be in the gym together.
I like I'm not saying like just be like sloppy, but
yeah,
keep me warm. I'm tiny, so it's like I like teddy bears.
Oh my gosh! So go ahead, answer this question: what you did outside your race, and if so, what race, and if not, why? So we are doing this thing where you can send in questions on our Instagram. We normally post on our story, but you can definitely comment on any photo. We take in questions that we answer at the end of the podcast.
That's in the link tree. That's in the link tree
description box
in the Instagram bio.
Instagram bio and description box.
Get your life together, please.
And it's gonna be in the podcast link on Spotify and Apple Music.
So the question that we got today is: I've been in a long-term relationship and I want it to be over. How should I approach it? Let me tell you something.
Long-term relationship.
Let me tell you something.
Oh
End it. End it. If you've talked to this person more than once about why you're unhappy and they don't change, they ain't never gonna change. People change for who they want to change for. Leave.
There's a lot to that question, but I agree with everything you said. There's we could ask so many more questions, but I agree with everything. I mean, your gut feeling tells you everything. Your gut
never lies to you. If you feel like someone is playing around with you, and I shouldn't say, let me backtrack. I shouldn't say your gut is always right because, you know, everyone gets put in a situation, and no matter what relationship, and we kind of get defensive. So like if someone starts acting a certain way of a person that we were with before, it's kind of like, oh, this person's doing that too. But you can't always think like that. Because I feel like that was something that I went through. It was like, nah, everybody's just like you. And it's like, not everyone's just like that person that made you have trust issues and yada, yada, yada. So it's just like 9 times out of 10, your gut is right. But sit back and think like, am I only thinking this? Am I putting things into my head? Am I overthinking?
Am I imagining this?
Yes, am I imagining that?
Am I scripting
Am I imagining that he's hiding his phone? Am I imagining that he's staying out all night? Like, just certain stuff like that. Like, because you really could. You can feed yourself a whole story.
And run with it.
An entire story and run with it.
Miles.
Not even run with it. Fly with it. Like, you can really do that. So, I wouldn't say always, you know.
Not always gut, but...
But 9 times out of 10, your gut is right.
A woman's intuition is definitely a big one.
I swear to God.
As well.
Every time, I've been right.
Always right. I've never...
And I promise you, I'm going to prove that I'm right, too.
Never been wrong. Never been wrong. That's okay. So gut and woman's intuition, but hey,
woman's intuition is real.
It is.
As much as people be like, oh, it's real.
If I was a man, I'd be scared. I'd be scared to do anything.
This is gonna sound a little crazy, but my female intuition was so strong. One time, I had a dream, and it came true. And I woke up and I was like, that was a weird dream. 3 weeks later, exactly what I had a dream about, it happened. And then that's when I was like, nah, like, I don't even need to think about it because I already dreamt about it a couple weeks ago. So yeah, listen to your female intuition, but leave. Like, if I can give any advice, leave, go be happy, especially if you're in your young 20s. Enjoy
young
it.
20s? What about all the 20s? I feel like we get so old.
I mean, I feel like thinking back, I wish I was single in my first part of my 20s, because now I'm in the second part of my 20s.
I'm kind of ready to, like, settle down.
I'm ready to settle down for real, for real. Like, I got a lot of energy, but I'm ready to
give that energy to just one person.
I've been giving it to, like, I don't be out here, you know, dippling and dabbling and flipping and whatever. But I'm definitely ready to just be. It's just me and you. We're building our empire. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. We gonna build our family.
We rocking.
Family.
I think we're good.
I would say definitely leave if you're unhappy.
Leave. I like that question.
Don't die
appreciate
unhappy.
It. I want to know who that was. I appreciate the question. Thank you. So, thank you to everybody that is still here listening to this lovely, lovely best friend duo podcast. We had a great time tonight.
We did, I guess.
So, remember, we are dropping every Friday, so you can drive home from work in your car from a long week.
Or be like taking a bubble bath.
Sip your wine, listen, have a good laugh, and enjoy the podcast. But we can't wait to see you next Friday for another great episode.
I'm just watching you because I'm just laughing. I don't know.
You weren't laughing, but I did.
No, I was laughing in my head. I laugh in my head.
Yo, you're crazy.
I might be.
You were so crazy.
I might be. I'm just kidding, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning. I might be a red flag.
Flag on a flag.
I might be a red flag. Why am I hair red? But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in with us today. And we will see you next time.
Remember, she said what she said.
Peace out.